Hello everyone. Now we will come to the lecture number 12 of subject Pharmacovigilance, final year B Pharmacy subject with code BP805ET. And the topic of lecture 12 is the MedDRA, okay, and their standardization of MedDRA related queries. So, as you know, we are dealing with the subject pharmacovigilance. I hope you all know what is MedDRA and the UDRA vigilance. So, we will study in this lecture in detail about the MedDRA and how it works. Let us start. This is the picture, students, you are seeing in this slide. This is the dictionary. MedDRA exactly the medical dictionary for the regulatory activities, because when we are talking about the pharmacovigilance, we are not dealing any specific country, we are talking about the international system or global harmonization system, which is the GHS. So, this is the red color dictionary, it is available online also. So, medical dictionary, med means medicine, medical dictionary for regulatory activity is the full form of MedDRA. So, it is basically this dictionary is used for the purpose of registration of new medicament or any different class of drug or already existing marketed drug, and for their documentation in different countries, and also for the safety monitoring of medical products, both before as well as after that particular product has been authorized for the sale. Okay, so, you have to remember what is the need or significance of formulation or generation of this MedDRA dictionary. So, it is basically for the registration, documentation and safety monitoring of the medical product, we can say for both previous as well as after the same product has been authorized for the purpose of sale. So, in this MedDRA we cover a large scale of products with the scope of MedDRA, which further include we can say various different class of pharmaceuticals, vaccines, biologics, biosimilars, drug device combination. So, I hope drug device combination nowadays when in 21st century, when we have sufficient enough information on any drug disease classification, we have enough data, and as our techniques and knowledge growing day by day, we are updating ourselves regularly. So, we are talking about the drug device combination products. It means I am giving you one here example. The best example is the pulmonary inhalers. So, when we are talking about the lung or the pulmonary system related infection or diseases, like we have asthma, bronchial asthma or COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, we have emphysis, emphysema, we have TB. Okay. So, again in COVID-19 condition also, you all know or you should know about the SARS-CoV-2 virus is basically affecting most widely the lungs. Its main site of the target organ is the lung. So, we are going to deal with the product which have the device along with the API or the medicament with that same product in one piece, we can say. So, pulmonary inhalers, for example, it contains the active ingredient or the drug active medicament in the dry powder form along with the device, which is nothing but the pressurized aerosols. You all know the nose or the nostril nasal tract is the best route for the insertion of drug which directly goes to the lungs, and so for this we have least wastage of the drug. So, the drug directly goes to the alveoli, bronchi and affect the target site of action. So, this is the best example for drug device combination product. Next, the need of MedDRA is to study in detail or to minimize or to avoid the confusion related to various different terminologies. I hope you remember about the different pharmacovigilance terminologies we covered in our previous lecture, various terminologies which is used by international medical terminology and developed under the auspices of the International Conference on Harmonization, ICH, International Conference on Harmonization, for the technical requirement for the registration of various pharmaceuticals for the healthy human consumption or human use. Okay. So, the need, I hope it is clear to everyone. MedDRA requirement is basically for the registration, documentation and safety monitoring of the different class of drug before and after its authorization for sale, and the second is it is to minimize, to avoid the various terminologies in depth which is provided by the ICH guidelines or the different class of phytopharmaceuticals or the pharmaceutical products which is basically prepared for or the intended for the human use. So, this is the importance of MedDRA dictionary. MedDRA, or in general it is known as Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities, it is the clinically validated international medical terminology, or we can say the dictionary. Dictionary, I hope you know, we have English dictionary, English to Hindi, Hindi to English, Oxford dictionary we have. So, when we are talking about the subject pharmacovigilance, you all know in pharmacovigilance we are dealing with the adverse drug reactions or the suspected adverse drug events produced by the medicament which is reported by the patient to their physician or any healthcare staff, or also to the PV executive member. PV is the pharmacovigilance executive member. These all reporting should be very important for the generation of signal, or we can say for the generation of score or statistics, which ultimately will be matched with these dictionaries. Dictionaries means here I am talking about the MedDRA. After that we will go with another lecture in which we have the UDRA vigilance, which is also a online dictionary, okay, provided by the European Union, UDRA vigilance. So, here the MedDRA gives the information, the detailed information related to the regulatory activities of all not wanted, we can say undesirable toxic events produced by different pharmaceutical products, and these are reported by the patient to their physicians. Okay. Then we have Thesaurus. This is new to you, new word. Thesaurus means, again it is the online dictionary. You can search from simple Google search engine also. Thesaurus here is also used by regulatory authorities of different countries and the biopharmaceutical industries during the regulatory processes, which fulfill the need of MedDRA in later. So, it is give detailed information, the Thesaurus e-dictionary, from pre-marketing. Pre-marketing means, students, now the drug is new, the NCE is their drug development procedure. Here again I am talking about the clinical research, you know the drug discovery pathway. Before starting the clinical research, we are having preclinical phase where we start testing the particular new API molecule in the animals. Then we have, when we get the sufficient enough good results, we are taking the human beings, human volunteers, and will start our clinical research, and which is started from phase 0 to phase 3 is considered as pre-marketing clinical phases. To the post-marketing activities. Post-marketing activities means, students, again PMS, post-marketing phase, which is the phase 4 and also known as PV, pharmacovigilance studies. So, pharmacovigilance or the clinical research phase 0. This will, the data will be provided by the Thesaurus or MedDRA, which is the e-dictionary for the further information regulatory authorities to search different class of drug, and also for the safety related information data entry for their retrieval. Retrieval means to search, to find out in depth information about any specific product, for their further evaluation using different class of or the special people like pediatric, geriatric, lactating and pregnant women, and also for the presentation. Presentation means after we have when we have the detailed enough data for any NCE, new chemical entity or the new chemical moiety, we are going to make a draft by including all the data, theoretical as well as the calculated data in a report form. This report is then reviewed by various higher regulatory members or the ethics committee, because we are here talking about the clinical research ethics committee member. Then this draft is reviewed again and again and approved and gets signed by these institutional review board members, IRB. Then this draft is published in different journals online through various webs and then approved for the publication. Okay. MedDRA also gives you the detailed idea about the adverse event, not only about the adverse drug reaction ADR, it also gives you idea about the ADE, which is the adverse drug events, for the detailed classification of different type of dictionary means, which include the taxonomical classification of drug along with their diseases. Okay. The first version of MedDRA was released in the year 1999 in English and in Japanese languages. Okay. All regulatory members of ICH guidelines, ICH is the International Conference on Harmonization, all regulatory members of ICH are expected to implement MedDRA within 5 years. So, this will tell you the idea or the gap 5 years. Again, there is proper checking and revision or inclusion exclusion of unwanted or updated information in MedDRA dictionary. Information about the implementation status of MedDRA by ICH regulatory members of different countries is updated by the ICH on its website. So, we have a specific proper, you will get this ICH website through the Google search engine, International Conference of Harmonization. It will publish the changes done after regular approval of the MedDRA dictionary in the gap of 5 years. Then as of 2020, the following ICH regulatory members have implemented MedDRA: European Committee, Europe; FDA, Food Drug Administration, United States; HSA, Singapore. HSA means Health Related Authority, Health Canada; MHLW, Ministry of Health, Law, Welfare; and PMDA, which is the Pharmaceutical and Medical Devices Agency, Japan; and Swiss Medic, it is the company or the regulatory authority of Switzerland; and TFDA, TFDA is the Taiwan Food Drug Administration. Okay. Like we have US FDA, TFDA, US FDA is the United States Food Drug Administration, TFDA is the Taiwan Food Drug Administration, or simply we can say the Chinese Taipei. Okay, students. So, these are the working or the involvement of various regulatory authorities. Basically, the ICH regulatory authority have the role and responsibility to yearly review or check the MedDRA related queries and their updation, and it will be checking, get signed, reviewing by various regulatory authority members, and the new version will be is published in every 5 years of gap. Next is the MedDRA updates. So, it is a very urgent notification about an exceptional and imminent means which is not in a favor to any patient or any population. So, it should be reported as early as possible to prevent their homeostasis or their healthy survival. Okay. So, this is an urgent notification about an exceptional and imminent change in MedDRA version, and which is the latest version we have is 23.0, which had previously been released on 1st March 2020. So, there is an important information. Please be informed that an updated version of MedDRA, The updated version is the 23.0, was released on 19th April 2020, which include the new COVID-19 terminologies and their related queries and detailed information. Okay, students, we all know globally we all are affected from COVID, SARS-CoV-2 since from 2019 December. So, this is the updated version of MedDRA, which include the updated version is the 23.0, and in the year 2020 on 19th April it includes all the aspect, means its etiological factors, the sign and symptoms associated with different class of people, which include the teenagers, small neonates, the pregnant lady, lactating women, okay, the heart or the diabetes related individuals. So, this is the MedDRA updates. Now, coming to the how we can standardize MedDRA related queries. MedDRA is mainly designed for the use in the regulation, the registration, documentation, and to observe the safety monitoring related parameters on individual, which are taken the medicinal product throughout the all phases of the developmental life cycle. All phases, when we are talking about this student, the life cycle of the product, okay, after approved from the clinical trial, now the drug is there in the market for the use of large number of population. So, again, when any new product are there in the market, the physicians are prescribing in their prescription to their individual patients affected from same disease or condition, which may be benefited by taking this same new chemical entity, and after that the same patients are going to their physician or healthcare staff and reported their side effects or adverse drug reaction. These reactions are to be maintained or documented properly, and this can be later checked with the terminologies which are there in the MedDRA, which is the standardized MedDRA techniques or the terminologies. So, all phases of drug developmental life cycle, the single standardized terminology offers several clear advantages for it will helpful for the regulators, for the industrial people, and also for the stakeholders. So, if we are talking about stakeholder here, stakeholder includes all those who are directly or indirectly related with this new product, their consumers, their providers, their registrars, okay, which include the patients, stakeholders, then we have physicians, then we have PV executive members, then we have healthcare staff, then we have ADR management system, means the paramedical staff upon which the patient go and report, or we have the community or the clinical pharmacist, hospital pharmacist, who listen the patient and give their opinion for their betterment of their health. Removal of the need to convert data from one terminology to another prevent the loss and also prevent the distortion of data, and this will also allow savings in the resources. So, the data from individual patient is to be stored, retrieve easily with this MedDRA dictionary. We can match, we can avoid the biasing or the confusion between the terminology or the staging or the we can say grouping of the disease with the use of this MedDRA dictionary. In continuation, MedDRA standardized queries, improvement in this by using this MedDRA, improvement will get for the ease of generation of data, improvement in the quality of results, and it will also provide timeliness, the data which is available for the effective smooth analysis, for the effective exchange, and also it will helpful in the decision making of the regulatory authorities or healthcare members in different countries. Consistency of the terminology throughout the different stages of the development of a medicinal product further allow the effectiveness of the cross reference and also the analysis of the data. It will also facilitate the electronic exchange of data, because it will also there in the e-dictionary format. So, it is easy in ECD format also, electronic data capture, electronic exchange of data, which relates to the medicinal product in any of the country, they will get detailed information. Next, coming to the MedDRA hierarchy. So, its hierarchy is classified into the 5 levels, we can say, which is the superordinate and subordinate levels. The superordinate term is broad grouping terms, and it is applicable to each subordinate descriptors which link to it. Hierarchical level thus represent the vertical links in the terminology. So, students, these are system organ class, which denotes 27 different terminologies. Then we have second level is the HLGT, high level group terms. It includes 337 definition or information about this 27 class of disease. Then we have third one is the HLT, high level terminology. It includes 1737 terminologies. Then we have preferred terminology, which includes 24,289 terms, and at the bottom or the end or the lowest level terminology, which is sometimes also known as the granular terminology, is the 5th level, and it contains 81,812 references. Now, MedDRA hierarchy. The MedDRA dictionary is organized with a 5 level hierarchy, we have seen in our previous slide. The highest or the broadest level is the system organ class, the topmost is the SOC, further divided into HLGT, then HLT, then we have PT and LLT. In addition, the MedDRA dictionary include the standardized MedDRA queries, which is also sometimes known as, in short, SMQs. SMQs means, students, you will see here, standardized MedDRA queries. SMQs are the group of different terminologies or the terms that ultimately relate to a defined medical condition of any individual or the area of interest. Area of interest means I have some CNS related problem, like for example. So, I have to focus on my CNS related diseases. Okay. In CNS related disease, you know, we have a different class of CNS related diseases, anxiety, depression, psychiatric, okay, nausea, vomiting, whatever. So, the area of interest is we have to focus on depression. So, we are going to take antidepressant class of drug. SMQs are developed to facilitate the retrieval or the collection of MedDRA coded data. It is there in the 6 coded format data as a first step in investigating the drug safety issues in the pharmacovigilance and also in the clinical trial, we can say clinical development of the drug or the medicament. Now, MedDRA is the hierarchical, you know, multi-axial, because it will focus on various axes, different directions. Multilingual means it is available in different languages, so that internationally acceptable and regularly updated. It is strictly maintained by the Maintenance and Support Service Organization, MESSO. ICH holds the intellectual property rights, that is IPR, which is the ownership of MedDRA. MedDRA is available free for all the regulators worldwide. It is also free for the academics people, healthcare providers, and also for the non-profit organizations who are directly or indirectly dealing with the patient safety profiling. The subscription price is based according to the company revenue for the industry. The Japanese counterpart for the MESSO is called the Japanese Maintenance Organization, in short JMO. This is all about today's lecture. Thank you. See you in next lecture.